Okay, hi guys, welcome to Binary Beast. So, as promised, today we are going to build a portfolio website in Django. It's like it's slightly complex in my previous video, but you will learn a lot. You will learn how to connect database. You will learn how to read, write database, and all the crude operations. So it will be real fun if you watch it in like a binge watch it. Okay, I would prefer. So if you want to know how will it look, I've already made one for myself. So if you want to know how will it look, it will look something like this. Okay, so you will be building something like this. This is a very old pic of mine. Okay, so in this there are certain features like your GitHub link you can upload as well. So this is my GitHub link, LinkedIn. Okay, similarly you can see your LinkedIn link. Then there is my blog. I usually do not write blog, but still for learning purpose I wrote this. Okay, so this is my first blog. I coded in 36 hours by the way. It was my first try, that's why. Okay, so after which you can also upload your CV. So this is my resume. So it's a very nice way to send a company your resume. So if you have your own hosted website, it creates a very nice impression. I would prefer it that way. Okay, then also if there's also email option. So if anyone wants to email you, then he can easily email by opening the default browser, like the Gmail is my default, so it will open it. So this all seems very fancy stuff. Okay, so let's just start and see that how it. Yeah. Okay, so let's just start. In the previous 20 minutes, I don't think that you will see such fancy stuff. First, we'll be building the base. You know, the building. Whenever we want to build a building, we have to first make the base. Okay, so this will be the base part. So I've already made a folder of portfolio. There's nothing in it, okay, but still, it's totally blank. We will be starting from the scratch. So first, I'll be making a virtual env. I have already shown the basic stuff when I was like in my previous video. We were making all the steps. We were doing all the steps. So I will be not explaining. I'll be iterating through it really fast, but it will be not so fast that you will not understand it. Okay, let's just let it load. It will take some time definitely. Till then we can do nothing. You have to just wait, and you can skip this by the way. Fast. You know, right? Why do we create virtual env? Virtual env is basically for creating your own space, so that whatever mess you do, it's only limited to that space. You do not affect any other projects which are outside the scope. Okay, so it will not affect all the projects. It's done. So let's just go to scripts and activate a virtual environment. It's activated. Okay, so let's just, okay, now it's cool. So now let's install our Django. It will definitely take some time. Setting up is a really a mess. Like I have already installed it, but for you guys, I am setting up the whole virtual environment from scratch so that you get a nice idea of how the setup usually works. Okay, it will not take so much time, but initially it is slow paced. So skip this part as well. Okay, so I'll like in this video we will be talking about building the skeleton part. I mean, from skeleton I meant that we will be setting the database first, and then we will be moving towards the fancy part. Okay, so just like in this, if we consider this is one page. Okay, so I will name it something as let's say profile. Okay, so as I told, as like till it installs, let me just explain the working structure of how we will be building this. Okay, so see, there are basically two pages in this my web app. Okay, so this is a project. In this project there are two apps. This is the first app, in which this is my home page as well as my profile. Okay, so I will name one of my app as profile and the another app as my blog. Okay, so there are two apps in my one project. Okay, so okay, it's done. What a timing. In Django we have to first create a project. So Django start project. Let's just name it as portfolio. Sorry, what it is. Django admin, sorry. Okay, so our main project is created. Okay, so now what we need to do, we have to create two apps, one of profile, another one of block. Okay, so first we need to go inside the portfolio. So cd portfolio python manage.py start app, and let's just name it as profile. Profile conflicts with the name existing by, okay, so we can we will rename it, as I'm very bad at selecting names. Okay, we will name it as display. I don't know. Okay, it's done. Display. Okay, so first is display and second one is block. Okay, so python manage.py start app block. Okay, so our two apps are done. Okay, now let's just start the server to see whether all the things are working fine or not. Python manage.py server. I hope it works. Okay, it's cool. We are getting what we want. Now let's just see whether it's working fine or not. Okay, we got this pretty website. It's the default one. Okay, we will change everything in this. So okay, for now we are done. So let's just open our website. Let's just open it and see. Yeah, this is the one which I've already made. We will obviously need this for reference, but I will open the new one which we have built for now. It's in D. We named it as portfolio again. Okay, and in this we are opening this one. Okay, so we are opening this. In that, as you saw, we created two apps, one named as display, another one named as block. Okay, and this is our main one, this is the setting, this is our display, and this is our block. Okay, so see, if you want to build a website which is just like this, so for this, like this is all, these were all my projects. The images are not being displayed because I have not used any of the like DigitalOcean or server which I paid. I had used the default Heroku database which expires after every 24 hours. Okay, so that's why these images are not loading, but the local one that will be making the image will be loading. Okay, so don't worry of it. Okay, so let's just see if we want to create this page. Okay, in this page, what there are two options to build. Okay, first of all, we create everything in the HTML. Okay, everything. Like let's say that if you want to make something as 2D sentiment analysis, so in the HTML page we write as 2D sentiment analysis, and then we upload an image is a static format. This is one option where everything is in the HTML. Second option, the second option is where we use a database. Okay, for the database where we can read the image, where we can write the information, and that will be more suitable for the industrial standards. We will be using that approach because in that approach you will learn as well how to use the database. Okay, so in Django, to use the database we have to use something like models. Okay, so this is the MVT. Okay, you know that Django follows MVT architecture, so M stands for models. Okay, so models are basically the database. Okay, so enough of theory, let's just get back to code. Okay, so this is my, okay, this is where we were. So in the, let's say there are two images, right? There was display one, there was a blog one. Okay, I am closing the blog one, it's not needed for now. The main what we need for now is display. In display there is a models.py already. Okay, so it's done. There is a models.py. We will be creating one model. We will be naming as what will be naming as, we'll be naming as profile. Okay, so this is the profile. Yeah, so we will be naming as profile. And there will be models dot model. Okay, so in this as you saw, there are two fields. There is one field is text, this is this field, and the other field is the image one. Okay, so image is equal to models dot image field upload to. Okay, sorry guys for the call, I had to take it. Okay, so this is the image field. Now for all of you guys who are not aware that how does this happen. Okay, so we do not need to remember anything, I must say that, because see in image field in Django. Okay, so in the image field I also do not remember, you know that I'm very bad in remembering the keywords and syntax. So what I usually do, I remember the links to documents. Okay, so whenever I'm in a dilemma that what should I write here, so I just go to the documentation and I read it, that which is the, like, what's the syntax. So see, there is an image field, in that we have to use the upload to. I don't remember the syntax, but here it is, see, upload to. So it's upload to, and there's a folder name which will be created here once I like upload any image. Okay, so this is the image, and then there will be something of summary. Okay, so summary is equal to models dot let's use care field. In care field also, if I do not I remember, still you should not think that I don't know anything. Okay, I know everything, like I know something, but still I will confirm it. So in care field, this is not, we do not need this. We need, what we need is here in the care field, there is a value which is called max. I do not remember the last one, but yeah, it's max length. See, so in the max length I will use that max length, and I will keep it as 200. This means that the user can write maximum 200 words while filling the summary. Okay, it's done. Literally, it's done. I'll tell you the importance of it, but for now, this is done. So I'm just saving it. Then what we need to do is that in the add minute, we need to register our model. Okay, so to register it, what we need to do is we need to from models import, from the models we need to import the, just a sec, from model import profile. So from models import profile and admin dot site dot register profile. Okay, admin dot site dot register profile, and in the settings, this is the setting, is the main one. In the settings we need to write here the apps which we just created. So the apps are like, because in the installed apps what we made were apps, right? So we have to write here as well. So in the apps it was display dot, in the display we created a, just we created an app. In display dot app dot, we have to copy this. Okay, don't like, it's a very spell sensitive. Okay, so just copy it. Display dot apps dot done. Okay, so this step done. Also now, as we have to upload images as well. Okay, so for images we have to write here media root as well as media URL. Okay, so this is also, we need to write that what media root is there and what will be the media URL. Okay, so I don't remember the syntax. I think in my previous project I had already written it. So let me just see that what's the thing. Okay, so see, this is basically, if you do not remember it, how do I remember is that in the settings one already there is already a defined code which they have written. Okay, see here it is. So this is for database. Okay, by the way, DB we will be knowing what it is, how it works for stepwise, baby steps. Okay, so for media root, I'm just writing here media root, like in media root, and this is, and this I'll create a media folder, and here media. Okay, I think it's done. Yeah. Okay, so this is the media one which we have created. This is a media URL, and we have written our apps as well. So in the apps one we have already, sorry, in the admin one we have registered our profile. If everything goes well, I think we are good to go. Okay, what's this? No module named display dot model. Okay, why it is, just a second, no module named display dot model, where it is? From module not found error. Okay, so no module named display dot model, sorry, from dot models, uh, okay, it's models, it's S, spelling mistake. Okay, let's see whether error, we are facing the same error or not. Okay, we are done. Okay, so see, we will be getting this error, don't worry. So I'll be explaining what is this error also. First let's just get out. Okay, so it's done. See, when we run our server, we usually get this error. See, this is the error which says that get below or run the command pip install pillow. Why? Because in Python, those of you are familiar with Python, you know that in Python, whenever we have to work with images, okay, so in like for that there's a library called pill. Okay, so we have to install it. So for installing it, it's pip install pillow. It will not take much time. Installing pillow. Let's see. It's done. Okay, so now let's just run the server. Python. It will not work. I know that, but still, Python manage.py run server. Okay, in the local file. Uh, okay, this is a local file. When we are going to in the admin one, because what we created were the databases. Okay, but operational at admin, no such table at okay, I know why this is created. Just see, we are not able to access the admin page. This is where the magic will happen, because what we just created in the models, this was a database. See, there should be a table of profile which will have two rows, one of image and one will be of summary. Image will contain all the image fields and summary will contain all the text fields. Okay, but for that we need to access the admin. Admin is must. So first, to access the admin, we need to create a super user. Python manage.py create super user. Okay, just a sec. Okay, Python manage.py make migrations. Okay, see, why I wrote this was that I was not aware of anything. They told me that, did you migrate? Migrate means that whatever changes which I have done in the databases, have I transferred that database from my local machine to the Django server? So for that, I had to just write Python manage.py make migrations, and what they prompted me was that, did you create a new model named profile? Yes, so they already created a database of profile. So now my table is done, and then there is one more step, Python manage.py migrate. So in the migrate, it actually migrates the table from the local machine to the server, and now it's done. Okay, we also have this new db SQLite3 file which was not there initially. Okay, so now when I do, let me just try to Python manage.py run server. It's running, and let's see what we are getting here. Okay, we got it. Okay, this is not the user ID password. This is not the one. Now what's the username and what's the password? We don't know it. We have to create it. For creating it, there is a command, Python manage.py create super user. Okay, so I've written a username. You can add anything. I'm writing bridge1823. Email address is temporary. Okay, bridge@gmail. This is not my original one. My original one I will mention description. It's bridgepatel1823@gmail.com. Please ask any of your doubts, queries. I will answer immediately. Password, simple password. I'm just writing hello world. Yes, we don't care. Okay, now it's done. Let's see. Let's run our server. It's running. Let's just refresh it. It's running. Bridge1823 was our number, and now writing HELLOWORLD. Hello world. Login. It's done. Okay, no thanks. See, this was the database which we created. Groups and user were the default one. We do not need to remember this one. I mean, we will need it in the login phase or in the third project if we will make, but this is what we created just now. And what we created was that in the profile there were two entries. One was image and one was summary. So let's see whether these two are created or not. So if we click on the profile, and if I create an add profile, see, there is an image and there is a summary. So it's working perfectly. So let's just choose a file. Okay, it's like slightly personalized. These are my gym pics. Okay, so I do a bit of gymming. See, I'm writing something myself. Okay, and if I save this, it's not getting. Why? Because part should be string, bytes, or OS, not a tuple. Okay, nice. Now I get it. See, to save the value in the database, I know I also like this error is new to me. Okay, see what's the error I'm facing. Okay, nice. Exception value, get full path name. Path should be string, bytes, or OS dot path like, not a tuple. I think in the settings one we messed up. In the settings when we added this os.path.join media, let me just confirm it whether we did it right or wrong. Okay, I think we did it right. There was nothing to confuse. Media root, there is a media URL. Okay, and it's according to me it's fine, but I don't know whether, like, if you have done something wrong. Let me just see what the error is, so that okay, this is what all developers do, I think. Stack Overflow, it's the media root error. Okay, so we were searching in the right direction. I don't know whether we are wrong or where somewhere, but the value of both the media and UI variable we have a trailing comma. Okay, I think we forgot the comma. Okay, this is where I think this. I think, but there should be comma. I don't know. Oh, there should not be comma. Okay, let's try one more time. Hopefully, it will work. Done. See, one comma can stop your code. Okay, so okay, this is done now. Just for, just for sake of trying one more time, what we can do is, this is our profile one. Let's just add one more profile. Okay, and let's choose a file. I'm choosing this one again, but I will be naming my summary different. I'll be naming it as second response. I'll be saving it. Now let's just see whether, okay, now it's done. We have a profile object 1, we have profile object 2. In the profile object 1 I had written triceps and a save, and in the profile object 2 I had written something like second response. I forgot. This is how, like, I short term memory extreme. Okay, it's done, but there is a problem. Do you know what? If I go and if I want to see whether my image is being uploaded or not, and if I click on this, page not found, but there is a two line which you need to write somewhere. Okay, I'll be just taking it as a reference of those lines in the URLs. Then this is where we need to make some changes. Okay, you can, just write it somewhere, because these changes are not in any documentation or so. I found it by in one of the tutorials. So I, because I also learned it from somewhere. Okay, it's not like I know this from, like, on my own or something. These are the two imports which you have to do first. Okay, and there is a line which we need to add here. This is a static one to see the images. That's why this is the two thing which you need to just remember, please guys. I do not have explanation of this one. Okay, it's done. Let's just refresh it. It's done. Okay, I'm looking like extreme image. So this is the image which I had just uploaded, and I can see it now. Just we can click it, see it. I like to see the image. That's why I'm clicking again and again. Okay, so it's done. Okay, so enough of the fun part. So we created a database. We have to create one more database. Okay, I prefer that, see, in our website we created the database of this one. In this database we have the section of image and we have the section of the summary. But what about this database? Because this is also a database where the user has to upload an image, he has to give a title, there should be a date, and there should be the summary. Because if I click it, then I should get the image, like I should get the whole text as well. Okay, so there are four things which we need to make. Let me just note it down. See, there is an image, then there is a something called as definition, then there is should be a date, and there should be a, like, a summary or kind, like, when we click it, there should be a elaborated form of the text. Okay, so there are four attributes. Okay, so there are four attributes which you need to make in our database. What I prefer is that if the like loop to the again start the video from beginning and reach this point. Why? Because this is a database which I would suggest that you make on your own, because then you would understand how the database is actually built, because then the further procedure is very simple, but this procedure is hard. Okay, so just pause the video, go through it one more time, and then start it again. I know this sounds like something very Indian meme material, but it's okay. So okay, we are starting it. Okay, so if you have iterated it through, it's okay. If you have not, it's still okay. See, now we are done with the job section. Now we have to do with the blog section. Okay, okay, this is, yeah, I was confused that, man. Okay, so we are working on this one. So we created the display one. Now we have to do for the blog one. Okay, in the blog one, first of all, we go in the models. We create our own model. So class, let's capital block models dot model. As I told, there are four attributes. First one is of image, models, image field, upload to image. There is a definition, I mean the slight text which we get just below the image to have a overview of what it actually represents. So I'm just naming as title. Okay, models dot care field, I don't know, let's say max length is equal to 200. Then there is a date, so date is equal to models. I forgot the date format, I have to look up here. Date in models Django. Okay, where's the official documentation? I prefer this. Yeah, and I advise you, you should also prefer this. Just write it there, you will get it. There is a date. There is a date. We'll see. There is a date, and if you want the time as well, there is a there is a date time field also. So let's just go with date and time. We will do extreme. Okay, so date, time, field. It's done. Then there is a summary. Summary means the elaborated one. Okay, so the whole text, I mean that this one, I know you guys will be like, why he's showing again, but this one. Okay, so I'll be naming is at description. Description is equal to models dot I don't remember again, I'm forgetting. Models dot text field, and it's done. Okay, this is our model is done, and let's just register it using in our admin. So I from models import, what was the name of our model? Capital B block admin dot site dot register blog. Our site is registered, and we will go in our settings, and in our settings we in the app we have to insert it. So display, sorry, not display, sorry, it's in the blocks. Okay, so it's in the blog. So blog dot apps dot, what was the name of the blog, I just copied. Done. Okay, our we have written our blog here. We have also registered our blog in the admin, and we have created our model. If everything goes well, I think we are done. Let's just see whether we facing any errors or not. In our home, you see there is a database of blog. Now if everything goes well, in blog we will have four attributes. There's the error. Let's see what's the error. Okay, so no such table blog underscore blog. I don't know why it's showing this, but let's see. Okay, we have not migrated. Okay, so first we need to migrate. For that, we'll close the server, and we will write python manage.py migrate. Okay, first let me just straight make migrations and see whether yes, it's showing that we have created a new database named as blog, and then we will just migrate it. It's not coming. I'm just okay. Python manage migrate, and it's done. Okay, now if you again run the server, and if you again refresh this page, and now if you go on the blocks, we have it. Now if I create add blocks, it's showing everything. I mean that image, the title, the dates, and the description. Okay, so let's just, I'm scared that if I click this and then again the two images will pop up. Okay, I'm not taking this one now. I have one. Okay, let's take this. Let's take this one. I don't know what it was, but it's okay. In the title, let's say that blog one, date. We can okay, we insert today's date, time now, description. Hello binary beast. Hell binary beast by hello. Let's say, oh, what it was, I don't know. Save. Okay, what it does, the blog one was added, you made another blog. I don't want another blog, it's just overlapping. Let's see in my blogs whether we have what we had created was there on is being stored or not. Okay, so in blog, yes, it's successfully stored. We are like, are we getting, yeah, we are getting the image. Okay, so I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, by the way, so I have all his quotes and everything. Okay, so the blog is a header title. Okay, we are getting everything. It's cool. Okay, so we have already prepared the backend. I mean that like, to just give an example, when a warrior goes to a fight, we need to prepare our weapons, so we have all our weapons ready. Okay, so now we just need to learn how to fire them. Okay, so then we'll be ready for war. So this was the first part of video where we learned how to create the database, and how to just all the small bits and parts of preparing ourselves for a big project. Okay, so this was all. In the second part, we will be going in the front end and trying to learn the display and trying to learn how to read and write the everything from the database. So hang in there, and if possible, slightly like press that subscribe button so that you get notified again when I come online. Okay, so bye.